All right, so a couple of days ago, it kind of went viral. An interview snippet from Tyler Perry and Keke Palmer. And I'll leave a link to the full interview in the comment section below. I actually did watch the interview. Let me just say up front before I dive into the Tyler Perry reaction to criticism he receives. Keke Palmer is a very good interviewer. If I'm not mistaken, she had a talk show at one point. But yeah, she definitely has the energy where she creates like a comfortable environment for the person she's or the people she's talking with to, be their authentic self, answer the questions honestly and have a good time while doing it. But then again, it does help that her and Tyler have had a long standing professional and personal relationship ever since she was in Medea family funeral, not funeral, family reunion and House of Pain, the first episode. So that was cool. But yeah, I did enjoy the interview for what it was. But the portion of the interview that went viral, I don't know if I can play it due to copyright. I mean, I might do a thing where I use the audio at the beginning of the video and that's it, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But how about this? Let me insert the snippet here, and if I upload it to YouTube and it gets marked for copyright, then I'm going to have to remove it and re-upload the video. But if it does play, hey, we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And if it does work, you'll hear from me after Tyler said his piece.
Love that you've never allowed that criticism to stop you from being able to have your authentic voice as an artist, because it does get really difficult.
Yeah, but what? No, 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 no. You got to drown all of that out, because if you let somebody talk you out of a place that God has put you in, you are going to find yourself in hell. I know for a fact that what I'm doing is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, because for everyone who is a critic, I have thousands of used to be emails from people saying, this changed my life. Oh my God, you know me. Oh my God, you saw me. How did you know this about my life, my family? So that is what is important to me. We're talking a large portion of my fans who are disenfranchised, who cannot get in the Volvo and go to therapy on the weekend. So you've got this highbrow Negro who is all up in the air with his nose up looking at everything. And then you got people like where I come from and me who are grinders, who really know what it's like, whose mothers and were caregivers for white kids and were maids and housekeepers and all of these beauticians that don't discount these people and say that their story don't matter. Who are you to be able to say which black story is important or should be told? Get out of here with that bullshit.
Yes, and that is what we come up against. It's like you said, the respectability politics that we're always pushing up against.
Okay, so I think for me personally, and I've said this plenty of times before on the channel, Tyler is the millionaire, now billionaire, and I'm not. I'm just a longtime fan of his products, aka the plays, the shows, the movies. And I remember the era of good Tyler Perry quality content. And then it just seemed like halfway through his stint with the OWN network was when I noticed a dip in the quality of the writing in, all of his projects. Now, I believe way back when there was an article about, a rift between him and Oprah, or not him. Yeah. And, the fact that it was mentioned, why don't you get a writer's room for like haves and have nots if loving you is wrong and whatnot? Because we had like focus groups where we would have test audiences reviewing the shows, and then they would make the same grievances of, yeah, these episodes aren't hitting like they used to because Tyler was doing way too much at the time. And apparently he had the same situation occur with TBS, where he refused to add writers, and then that kind of led to him not getting a new contract after his current one had ended, hence why he went to OWN in the first place. Because yeah, Tyler's or shows did save OWN, but at the same time, without OWN, he didn't have any other place to go. So now he went from, what was it, 2019, about the work ethic clip he did about, no writer's room, where he wrote everything himself, and he got backlash for that. And he defended his decision. But now he does have writer's rooms. He's gotten to the point where he's trained enough people where it isn't just the sitcoms, House of Pain and Assisted Living, but he's given, some of his shows like Sisters and Bruh over to other writers and directors as well. So I think as we move forward, we might see The Oval and maybe even Ruthless given to other people. But even still, those shows shouldn't even be running that much longer to begin with, in my opinion. But when it comes to the criticism reaction to it, he kind of drowns it out about, not having black stories told. He can feel how he feels about it, because guess what? Hey, at the end of the day, his products are still getting a lot of numbers, and regardless of the feedback, criticism, they're still going number one. The actors are being paid adequately, and it's all well and good. But I think for me, and this is just my takeaway from the interview, I really wish that there was a response to the genuine fans like myself that are concerned about these movies and shows just being the same damn thing every time. It's the fact that, like I said over the past couple weeks, Divorce in the Black is not the worst Tyler Perry movie. It does not deserve a 0% Rotten Tomato score. But if the critics were judging it based off of, this is just like every other Tyler Perry movie, there's nothing here we haven't seen already, then I can see why it would get a 0. My thing is this. It isn't the fact that black stories need to be told. It's just the fact that there are more black stories that need to be told other than the struggle stories. But then again, when you look outside of the realm of Tyler Perry Studios, how many black films actually win Academy Awards and whatnot? Typically, it's only from the roles where black people struggle, where, they're a drug lord, they're a criminal, or they're a slave, versus an uplifting story, that kind of thing. I mean, technically Will Smith, King Richard, but then again, wasn't his role kind of like Precious, if you will? But in a sense that he was actually Joe Jackson driving his children to success. I just feel like, I don't know. If you've been on this channel long enough, you know how I feel about Tyler Perry stuff, because this is my job. I review this content. And it's easy to be up here a hater, but that's not what I am. I'm a person that knows he can do better because I've seen him do better. The haves and the have. If the haves and the have-nots was not, if that series was not as great as it was, I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't be on YouTube because I had a lot to say about the show because it was that damn good. But there's also the aspect of, black people always tearing each other down. And I get it. Black people were held to a higher standard, especially in positions like Tyler Perry, where he's at, because there aren't too many people out there who can tell black stories. And when I say that, I mean, like, there aren't too many black people in the entertainment industry that can tell black stories. But it's just the fact that it's the same kind of story. That's what people are sick of. And it wouldn't hurt to have, a couple of writers in there. Yeah, I get it. Tyler Perry's name could still be on everything. He can do 97% of the work, but just have a little bit of 3%, just 3%, where you have another person or just a couple of people read over the scripts. It's like, hey, if you want to tell this story about a woman going through this and that, that's fine. But make sure that it's a strong script, good pacing, solid. It doesn't even have to be a happy ending, but make it make sense. The third act doesn't always have to be a guns, knives out situation. That's what we want. And I remember saying this in a video a long time ago, yeah, I get it. Some people might not say it's fair to point out Tyler Perry for being repetitive when look at Lifetime movies or Hallmark movies. They're all the same. But at the same time, it goes back to what I just mentioned. When it comes to telling black stories, it isn't just about the struggle. But then again, like he did say, his audience, those who can relate to the stories, watch. And that's why the numbers go up. And I can't argue with him there. But I'm just I'm disappointed, I'm disappointed because I love Tyler Perry. I love what he does. I just wish we can get back to that same quality where you could tell this man was hungry. But then again, he's at the billionaire level. He's charitable, paying people what they're worth and then some, which I say time and time again, I will never fault him for that. But as a consumer of the entertainment, I would like my dining experience to have a bit more quality. put a little paprika on there. Make that meal worth the consumption as opposed to me eating the same meal, aka a movie or show, for like the 50th time in a row. Because I remember doing videos breaking down what's like Route 187 or a couple of these other shows. What is it, Beauty in Black? Just a number of Tyler Perry projects, whether it be shows or movies that are coming out either later this year or early 2025. And I'm like, damn, they all... Okay, single struggling black mom, multiple kids. One of them's an addict. One of them's getting into some kind of trouble. And she has to figure out a way out of this. And I'm like, isn't there something else we could do? I don't know. But hey, it was a good interview for what it was. I just know people wanted me to talk about this one segment involving his reaction to the criticism. I give him props for, having more writers, so there's that. But I just, I remember doing the video a day or two ago about Lonnie Love saying that he should get like black writers and directors to help with his films so they can be up for awards. And I mean, for me, being eligible for awards is one thing, but I just think in general, having a stronger script is what's really suffering in terms of these movies and products. But hey, at the end of the day, these people getting paid. I mean, even though I'm not getting paid by Tyler Perry Studios, I get paid from Google for talking about this stuff. So I don't know. I guess at some point you just got to chalk up the fact that, hey, this stuff isn't going to get any better. It's just going to stay the way it is. And from a financial standpoint, there's really no need to put more effort or resources behind a machine that's working just fine. It might not pump out it might be the Little Caesars of entertainment, but hey, it's still making bank. But it's just kind of shameful when you have because he talks about how in the interview about, how you have up and coming writers and directors and whatnot who make these projects and they don't have a whole lot of resources, but they put all they have into like a genius script and a production, but they just wind up selling it off to like a bigger company to make a quick buck as opposed to ownership. But the thing is, I think about Tyler Perry where you have these people with not a lot of resources making these genius films. And I'm like, that used to be you. But I think the thing, and I'm sorry, I'm speaking in circles. I just ended with this. And I've said this many times before. It's the fact that he is a billionaire and he has way more resources now. Yet the products he put out they pale. They can't even be compared to his earlier work. Yeah, Diary of a Mad Black Woman had another person on the writing team and whatnot. But I remember around 2020 or 2021, I said, Tyler Perry's Viacom era, it won't stand the test of time in terms of quality. Looking back at like some of these shows, 2028, 2030, they won't hold up. But House of Pain, Meet the Browns from the TBS days, the early season of the Haves and the Have-Nots, you can't top that. You can't. So, I mean, hey, keep trucking along, Mr. Perry. Keep doing great things for people. I just wish you would do better things for the fans. That's my one wish. That's it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe. Catch you later.